My name is State Representative Matt Bliss. I am the representative for District 2B. That's in northern Minnesota, surrounding the Bemidji area. Thank you for coming. I'm here to discuss House File 13. House File 13 was created in a response to a Minnesota Supreme Court decision regarding the duty to retreat. Nowhere in the Minnesota statute does it call for the duty to retreat. This was judicially created in self-defense. In other words, the court took it upon themselves to insert this into our statute. We continue to have the debate if we will require Minnesotans who are under imminent threat of death or great bodily harm to take the valuable time in a situation where seconds can mean the difference between life and death to look for a way to retreat before using the force up to and including deadly force to save their lives. This is not that bill. The courts have once again took it upon themselves to expand the duty to retreat to merely include the threat of use of force. Justin Thiessen, who, as you know, is a former DFL House Speaker, wrote in his dissent, "Not only is the court's decision divorced from the statutory text, it's unprecedented in the United States, and it also flies in the face of human nature. No other state in the United States requires this." Justin Thiessen further pointed out that under this ruling, a woman walking home at night would not even be able to hold her keys between her fingers, a move that many people do as a deterrent and as a means to defend themselves in the event of an attack. This ruling not only prohibits a woman from using her keys to fend off an attacker, she's expected to run away, but just holding the pointy end of your keys between your fingers would be illegal, as it would be considered brandishing a weapon. I don't know about you, but this is what I tell my daughter to do, and I tell her to go for the eyes to protect herself. The courts continue to overreach and insert language into legislation. Our Constitution sets forth three branches of government: legislative, judicial, and executive. The legislature branch creates laws, the executive branch enforces laws, and the judicial branch interprets laws. Nowhere does it say that the judicial branch can insert language into existing statutes. This is left to the legislatures. HF 13 is a very simple bill. It states that reasonable force may be used in resisting or aiding another to resist an offense against the person, regardless of whether a reasonable possibility to retreat to avoid danger exists. And again, I just want to state that that is the first time those words will be put into this statute. Reasonable force is left to be interpreted by a judge or a jury, as it is with other standards. This is not a shoot first bill, as you will hear people describe it. I'll now take your questions.
I wonder if you can walk us through a situation if, say, I'm in my house and someone breaks through my front door. How does this help me?
So in Minnesota, we do have a stand your ground for the house. If you're in your home, you do not have a duty to retreat, currently.
And so you're looking at more in the public space.
In the public sphere. This case was based on a gentleman that was surrounded in a train platform and was told one person had a knife, and he was told to get out of the sight of the camera so he could slice his throat. The gentleman broke out a weapon and just held it up and brandished it to the people, telling them to get away from him, and he was found guilty of brandishing a weapon, even though he was doing it to protect his life.
By a jury or by a judge?
I'm sorry?
By a jury? He was found guilty by a jury?
And it went to the Supreme Court, and this was the Supreme Court ruling that I'm quoting.
Some of the opponents have said, you know, this is a recipe to increase violence, and that we've seen it in other states. Can you respond to that?
Yeah, so again, the standard that our Supreme Court set forth in this decision is not in use in any other state, so that's not the correct argument. It's also been called a shoot first bill. That is not this bill. This bill simply says that a reasonable amount of force may be taken, and a reasonable amount is going to be judged by a jury or a judge, and that's standard in several statutes in our state.
Do you anticipate that you'll have support from the other caucus?
They're set on the shoot first narrative. They haven't even, I don't believe they've even read the bill.
Why is it important to raise this issue now?
In my opinion, it's because the courts are becoming activists. They're reading into laws and then placing in words in our statutes that don't exist there. This is one step further that they're stepping into the statute. And again, Justin Thiessen, who is no Republican, no conservative, is he, in his dissent, says this is unprecedented. Not only does it fly in the face of the text of the statute, but it's against human nature.
Thiessen's not a Republican, but he's definitely the most cited by Republicans of the Minnesota justices.
I served with, at that time, Representative Thiessen. He was a good man, and we had differences in opinions, but he's always seemed reasonable. Thank you.